Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to go for something a little bit different. I'm aiming for a more editorial style of video this time. So this video is going to be on a topic that is near and dear to many viewers and is a critical piece of American history. I'm talking about Chrysler Corporation's Hemi engine and the lineage on how it came to be known as one of the best power plants in cars and trucks as we know it today, shaping American muscle and taking big torque and horsepower into the limelight. The name Hemi refers to the hemispherical combustion chamber, which was brought on by wartime research that Chrysler Corporation undertook during the Second World War. The original trademark was actually the firepower lineup of V8 engines, offered in a 331 cubic inch displacement. These engines were an overhead valve, hemispherical combustion chamber engine which built up to a whopping 180 horsepower in 1951. This comes 4 years before the Chevrolet small block engine would come to change the industry forever, but not before the hemispherical engines came and showed their face on the scene first. At the same time, Ford was wrapping up production on the flathead V8 series of engines, which had been in production in America since the 1920s. In 1954, production continued on the Chrysler Firepower V8 engine. This was the first year we saw the 392 cubic inch displacement V8 from Chrysler, which was featured on models such as the Chrysler 300. These engines featured a 4-inch bore and were unmatched on the drag strip. For drag racers, this engine was the chosen one. This is what brought on much of the reputation that we know of today as the hot rodder's dreamboat when it comes to Dodge and the 392 cubic inch Hemi Scat Pack. For the production of an engine to last from the 1950s all the way into the present day, there had to be something going right for them. While the 392 was first introduced under the Chrysler Corporation's name, the first Dodge Hemi engine was a variety of V8s amounting to the size of 325 cubic inches, or 5.3 liters, which were used in the Dodge Ram pickup truck of old. These were the first days of the Hemi engine cars and pickup trucks seeing American roads and highways, which leads us into the wonderful era of Dodge and Chrysler horsepower and torque. In 1964, Chrysler began manufacturing their hemispherical overhead valve V8 engine under the trademark Hemi for the first time. At this point in time, the automotive industry was booming, pre-fuel crisis. The golden era is what some people might call this generation. This is the second official generation of the Hemi V8, which was originally denoted as the Firepower V8. Hemi engines from this generation feature 426 cubic inches of displacement, or 7.0 liters, which to this day is one of the largest displacements of any engine ever offered in any car. This engine's rivals were the Chevrolet small and big blocks, including the 454 cubic inch 7.4 liter Monster V8 put out in the year 1970, and something or other made by Ford that was probably been lost to the sands of time. The Hemi engine was featured in the Dodge Charger as well as many other cars and trucks across the Chrysler group of automobiles. To an automobile consumer, these engines were the top of their line in terms of performance and also in terms of style too, making some of the best looking cars, in my humble opinion, of all time ever. Now in the past, Hemi engines follow a more traditional V8 design, but lots of improvements have been made on the modern equivalent. The Hemi name is still in use, but the combustion chamber no longer bears a real, true hemispherical design, the same as it did in the past. Many components have been upgraded to bring this engine into the modern age. The ignition system was upgraded to a coil-over plug design, which offers a more consistent and easier to control spark. The combustion chamber features 2 spark plugs per cylinder, which give this engine control of not one but 2 flame fronts in the combustion chamber. This helps to mitigate the chance of engine knock or pre-detonation interfering with engine operation. It also provides a stronger spark for fuels that may be less combustible, such as methanol or other styles of fueling. Electronic fuel injection is featured on modern-day Hemi engines, with port fuel injection being the latest featured fuel system for a Hemi. This means every cylinder has its own fuel injector. Electronic controls of every aspect of the engine come standard in the modern day and age. This means that variable valve timing and lift can be found on certain cylinder heads. The trademark in this system for Chrysler and Dodge is MDS, meaning multiple displacement system. These engines have lots of features, which help to generate positive fuel economy ratings while retaining many of the features that we know and love to this day, such as high horsepower and torque figures. In racing, these engines can be found wherever the enthusiasts are behind them. And for many of us, the engines themselves are a dream creation. The 392 cubic inch V8 was one of the most popular models in the modern era, with certain models achieving 700 plus horsepower with power adders, such as superchargers and turbochargers. Now this is the part of the video where I will begin to cast my opinion on this engine. I believe that the expense of owning a Dodge or Chrysler vehicle does not justify the benefits. While I believe that there are certainly undeniable improvements that the engine has to offer over the competition, these are some topics that I'll bring up in another video. The 2 spark plug design, in my opinion, is not worth it because now you have 16 spark plugs to replace, and the coils are needlessly expensive and do twice as much work as the competition. For this reason, also for many design and engineering choices, I have personally determined that the engine is less desirable in terms of power making. I am a diehard Chevrolet fan, and if you have watched any of my other videos, you would understand that my personal choice of engineering is in Chevy and the LS series of engines. I build Chevrolet trucks, and I have been working on their engines since I got my hands on a small block engine truck for the first time. Well, this has been a brief rundown of the Chrysler Hemispherical V8. Let me know of any important details that I may have left out in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button because it helps me out really immensely, and don't forget to like and share this video. This is it for this one, you guys, so until next time, peace.